God be the glory, great things he has done. Because he so loved me, he gave me his son. And thank you for your part in ways that you've made it possible for me to be there. I arrived last April in time for the annual National Philippines Ladies Retreat. Honestly, one of the favorite things I do over there is I teach the ladies Bible class on Sunday morning, and it's been so awesome watching these ladies grow. They've grown in number, and I've seen them grow spiritually, and I see them reaching out and trying things on. Some of them are starting to teach, and some of them are leading prayers. And we're drawing closer. We studied the book of Colossians, the book of Philippines, and the book of John. We've initiated some ladies' retreats in northern Cebu this past year. Before that, we have gone to a couple of ladies' fellowships in Cebu City a few times, and I've even had the opportunity to speak at a couple of them. But we weren't having the fellowships in the north area where I live. So this last year, the Dat Church, which is about 30 minutes from the church where I'm working, had our first annual ladies retreat. And then a few months later, we had the second annual ladies fellowship at Airport. Another ladies fellowship meeting we had was in the Compostela Church of Christ, about 2 hours away. I was asked to speak at that, and another young lady, Jeanne, from Airport was asked to speak. We got hopped on a bus to go there. On the way, we had an accident in the bus. A goat ran out in front of the car in front of us. The place at Compostela Church are the ones that make the fish bracelets and the purses and the earrings and things that they sell out of paper. And this church is comprised almost entirely of ladies. There's maybe 3 or 4 men that's in the church. So this shows us, ladies, that there's a great need for ladies to be in mission work. Another fellowship for the ladies that we've initiated since I've been going over the Philippines is a monthly fellowship for our congregation. The ladies meet on the last Sunday of the month. We have dinner together, we fellowship, we share with each other, get to know each other, and have a little devotional. And this has been very helpful in our class, growing closer and in number. When I first went there this summer, I also went to a youth camp on Bantayan Island, which is a small island just north of Cebu. We take a little ferry ride to get there, and one of the things I had the privilege of doing is there was about maybe 40 of us who went from our area to the fellowship, and I bought everybody lunch, and it was a joy because there was going to be no food if I hadn't. So we stopped on the way and got apples and chicken and bread and had a nice lunch on the ferry. That was a challenging retreat. It was all young people, and I decided that I was young at heart enough that I could go. And we slept in tents and intense heat and intense bathroom situations. But it was amazing, some of the things we learned and the benefits of it, and watching those kids as they joined in spiritually searching. I loved it. Also, a regular thing we do in summer is we have vacation Bible schools. We have quite a few young people come from the Lady Christian College. They come and stay in Airport during the summer and help and serve there. And they help a lot with the vacation Bible schools in the area. We go from one area to the other having vacation Bible schools. And they are just so exciting to watch the little children. One of the big projects that we've been part of is the building of our new church building, which has just been completed. They had their grand opening service after I got home this time in January. It was quite an adventure building that church building from the bottom up, and we have a lot of wonderful supporters here in America and Singapore and different places who help make that possible through the power of God. One of the things we would do is every morning we'd have a Bible study with the workers who were building the church. And I got to participate in that some. Brother John would lead the devotional, and I'd make them some kind of good muffins or goodies and coffee, and it was a way to reach out to these men who were working and building the church for us. So exciting as we're building and planning this church building. The Edmonton Church of Christ in Canada just happened to be renovating their church, and they were going to get rid of all of their pews and chairs and get new ones. And it was plenty for our church. Brother John and I oversaw this little project of building a gazebo in his garden in front of our Good News Market that was built last year. And we were real proud of it. It provides seating and a little place for fellowship in front of the Good News Market, our Good News Clinic, and the little gazebo is even used for a Bible class for our children on Sunday morning. There's a little bit of material left from building the gazebo, and we use that to make some benches for the downstairs there of the church for classrooms. And we also had some bookcases built for our little church library, and we have some wonderful books there that different churches from here in America have sent over there to furnish staff. Was able to participate in our campus ministry. That's where we go to an area high school and have a devotional once or twice a week. Now all the students who choose can come to the devotional, and we have reached many Christians. Many of our leaders, young leaders in the church, have come from this ministry. And this past year, we added on 2 more high schools in the area that we go to. It's very exciting. Dear to my heart is the opportunity to work in the compassionate outreach there in the Philippines. The people there are very, very poor. And we work closely with the church benevolence. We help take care of several of our most desperately needy widows, orphans. We help people when they're sick. We've helped people with funerals. We help students. We have a lot of young preachers that come through there and visit, and we've been there to help them. This is dear to my heart. These people have a heart for sharing the good news of Jesus with people, and we've been able to help with that. We have this feeding and Bible study with this little community at walking distance from our church. There's just lots of children there and people. One of our widows that we help a lot there is living in that little area, and those people have been watching. They've been watching while we come and have Bible studies at her house, while we help her when she's in trouble. And so it's a great place that she has set up the influence for us. We cooked a great meal for them and had a lot of children. It was just a wonderful time. One of the preachers and leaders there, we bought him a beehive full of bees. And we're excited to see if we can get that opportunity going there in Airfall. One of the things I love so much is the visitors we have at our call, and the way that we're able to interact with them and the opportunities that's given through that. One thing, as I said earlier, is a lot of preachers and their wives come through visiting or various reasons, and we're able to spend time with them and get to know them and encourage them and even help them a little financially as we're able. We have so many wonderful groups that come and visit us. There's this mobile medical team that comes. They're from Alaska. This team they're not Christians, but they go all over the world, disasters and needy areas and help. And to me, I've got to know a lot of these people, and they are opportunities for us to share the gospel with these people, and as we get to know them. Air Paul Nature Retreat there in Air Paul is listed on Airbnb, and so we get randomly we'll get people who come there just to stay at the retreat. We met this young lady Chloe and her mother Christelle from France, and they came back. They loved it there, and we have high hopes of sharing the good news more and more with them. They've even invited me to come and stay with them in France, and who knows if they get that opportunity. It's wonderful that we have so many mission teams that come there. It's so uplifting for me, and an opportunity to uplift them as they experience mission work. One of the groups we have to come in, they've come a few times, is a group of young people from Oklahoma Christian School, and they come and they work with the medical team that comes, and they go out into the community. They do exams and wellness checks for people. They have helped so much. They've been coming for a few years, and they can see such a change in the help of the ones they've seen before and the help now. They give vitamins for the children, and they have found some very serious situations that they've been able to help with. These young people are just awesome in the way they're willing to serve and give of themselves. Every 2 years, a team comes from Alaska, from the Northern Lights Church of Christ. We've come to know and love them, and different ones come each year from the congregation, but that congregation is just so awesome in their desire for outreach and connecting with the world. 2 young ladies from that same church, Kate and Leslie, came and stayed for 2 months with me in my house in the summer, and they were able to have a wonderful experience and help us all in so many ways. Salvador Carriaga, his mother and father and his sister came to visit us, and that was a very enjoyable experience. John Bailey is an awesome man of God who has done so much for the work there in Philippines. This last year he came. He's up in his 80s. He has Parkinson's, and he came anyway. And it was a joy visiting with him and being encouraged by him. Brother Bill Lawrence comes regularly. He's involved with our Tree of Life program a lot. That outreach program we have at the church there, where people here in America support children and help them to have the opportunity to go to school. They give them other needs too, and it's a great door-opening opportunity for us, and he's very involved. Moichi and C.K. Lee from Singapore are some of my dearest friends. They are the most generous, compassionate people. They have put so much time and money into Airpal and helping to make so many of the projects that we do possible. This past year, they usually come maybe once or twice a year. This past year, they brought a little mission group from Malaysia. This church they attend part of the time. We fell in love with each other. The people at Airpal with them and them with us. They found out that God is truly working in this place. and that we are only seeking His Word and His way. And they were so excited. They're anxious to come back and visit again. We have very interesting visitors. One little boy, Jeremiah, he came from the streets in Cebu City. Salvador found him and brought him home, and he was wondering, he had been living up in the streets. He was, as a lot of the street kids are, was addicted to drugs. He was about maybe 10 years old. He said he was 14, but we doubt he was hardly 10. But we brought him home, we bought him some clothes, we fed him good, we tried to encourage him, we even tried to get him enrolled in Green Garden Christian School, right there near Salvador's house. He couldn't handle it. The day before he was supposed to start school, he ran off. He came back again, and but he wasn't used to living a structured life where people tell him what to do and help him. And so he finally ran off again, and we didn't see him. Later on, he came back again, and Salvador brought him to Airport to visit with us there. And he wound up running off again. But you know, we can try the best we can. There's one orphan we have there. His name is long. His real name is Angelito. He was from a little island that Salvador had some property on. When they went down there to visit, they brought him back with us. His mother had died. They found him sleeping on the beach, and he kind of followed them around while they were visiting down there. And his stepfather, who had been very cruel and abusive to him, gladly signed over the rights to him. And so he lives with us, but he's a success story. He's an awesome little young man who has gone to Green Garden Christian School, and we have come to love and be able to help him, and he be a joyful part of our life. All these visitors come, and one of the things that I've had the opportunity to do, me and Brother John, we actually help cook at the retreat house, which is fun and interesting, cooking for Filipino people and American people and Asian people, and but it's a fun and challenging part of what we do. Another opportunity I was given when I was over here this time was due to the generosity of some of the people from Port City. I was given the task of buying and giving some goats to several people. It was a pretty complex situation. You have to decide who gets the goats, who you're going to buy the goats from, how you're going to get the goats from here to there, and it was quite a process that took quite a while to do. But I chose some of the people to give goats to were these young couples anticipating marriage. They have people who have a great future involved in leadership there in Airport. This was kind of an investment in them and their future. As they get a new goat, they take care of it, it has babies, they are able to sell goats, milk the goats, and get the money from the milk. So it's a lot of help to them. Some people we gave were some needy people at church, and it was a great opportunity. And I just want to express to the ones of you who specifically helped with this process, I'd like to thank them. Hugh and Lisa White were so generous in helping with this. CF and Ann Godwin contributed this. Bob and Denise Hewitt helped with this. Lori Minor, and those were somewhat specific in giving money to help with this particular project, but the money in general that people have given overall helped with it too. So all of you have a part in it. And it was such a joy, and these people were so appreciative for the help. And one thing that is so small but so big to my heart is little gifts of love that people gave me. Sometime on Sunday morning, one of the ladies might bring me a piece of fruit. Here's Sister Donna, and that they brought it especially to give to me. One day I just almost cried. A lady brought me 3 small eggs that her chickens had laid. It was such a big gift. And fruit and little things they give me mean so much. Right before Brother John was leaving to come back home in December, one of the sisters that we had helped, one of our widows, she brought 2 chickens, knocked on the door right before Sunday school. I think she would go down to Sunday school, knocked on the door and hands me 2 live chickens, rooster and a hen. And I'm like, what am I going to do with this? And so we tied them up, and later we got somebody else to prepare and cook them for Brother John's going away party. It was quite a sweet gift. This lady that we were trying to help couldn't help but give back. Isn't that beautiful? This lady, I just hesitate to even tell you the story. It's so sad. Her daughter, 25 years old, she's severely paralyzed and retarded. She was assaulted by a member of her family and had a baby. And now the grandmother is raising that precious little baby, Martha. And we went to her home, and she lived in this tiny little shack, and your heart just goes out to her. This is the lady that gave me those chickens. Can you see what a beautiful, large gift that was? We have a family, what they call a family camp, where our church will all go on a specific Sunday. We'll go to this nearby retreat that's near the beach and have our church service there. We will play games. We will have a wonderful meal with lechon, which is roasted pig, and just enjoy a refreshing spiritual and fun time together. A friend of mine, Nadine, was going on a trip to her home island, on the island of Gross. Got a ferry there, but when she got there, she was going to take her motorcycle and go the rest of the way to her home. And she was traveling with her 2 little sons. And I bought her and her 2 little sons a helmet to wear on that motorcycle ride. I was worried for them. Many of the people ride motorcycles there, and many of the people ride without helmets. And what a sweet opportunity that was. Another wonderful blessing is all the baptisms we have. The people we actually reach and bring to Christ. The grandest joy of all. Such a blessing to have the opportunity to get to know these people and love them. It opens up opportunities for me to mentor young people, teenagers, college-age kids, young adults, as well as the adults. I'm just amazed at the opportunities that God gives me to do this. And by being there a while, I get to know them and love them. And it makes it possible to reach them and share and encourage them and help them to grow spiritually. And sometimes that takes a little time, you know. You can't just go in there, shout the gospel, and everybody gets it, and then you leave. It takes time to develop the unity and for them to be able to trust you and know your heart is really with them. On a very personal note, one of the grandest opportunities God gave me this year is I spent a lot of time studying God's Word this year in a very beneficial way for me. I can say I never read the Bible all the way through. I've read a lot of the Bible in my life, studied a lot, but the official reading all the way through. And so I prayed to God. I asked Him, Lord, would you please help me and enable me to read your Word, and to give me wisdom and understanding as I did it. And what is so thrilling to me is that He answered that prayer. He truly helped me. I'm reading a chronological Bible, and I've read all the way through the Old Testament. I've been in again the New Testament, and it's just been wonderful. That I think maybe before I was just reading to read, or not reading on my own abilities. But this time, He really did enlighten me and help me. And I just have to say this because this has really been part of this missionary journey. He's really helped me in a lot of ways through His Word, and also showing me how through His Spirit He helps us and He answers those prayers. So wonderful. And I'm sure it's going to help equip me more as my ultimate desire is to reach the lost. My heart is heavy for them, the lost. And I want to be part of that, reaching them and bearing fruit in the Lord's kingdom. Brothers and sisters, I thank you. How can I thank you enough for all you've done to help me make some of this possible? Through your willingness to be yielded to God's will, you've helped me financially, you've helped me by encouraging me, by lifting me up, and your beautiful prayers sustain me and encourage me. And I thank you, and don't ever doubt that God sees everything you do. God bless you all.